Midnight Overwatch with Phoenix and Laura. Information download begins in 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Initiating information download.
Hello and welcome everyone to the Midnight Overwatch. I am Phoenix and we are joined by Laura Walker this evening. And Laura's going to be sharing some pretty interesting things with us, as she usually does. And we will get right to it. Oh, before we start, like, share, subscribe if you enjoyed Midnight Overwatches, and tell other people about it. We are on Rumble and we are on YouTube. And yeah, it seems like the Rumble works out a little bit better. But anyway, Laura, how are you and how are things going there at your secret location?
Hey, Phoenix. Yes, a secret location. I don't know. Did you drop some acid last week?
Did I drop acid last week? Oh my goodness, that was funny.
The things we learned.
The things we learned. Yeah.
Let's talk about JD Vance.
JD
What's
Vance.
going on with JD Vance?
JD Vance and Venezuela. Anything else?
Yeah.
Anything else that you see on the radar here? So let's get right into it. It's been a really weird week, with the government shut down, the SNAP benefits are down. There's some threats out there of pending things. Some people said there was going to be like some kind of flash mobs on the 3rd, which would be tomorrow. And also, we were seeing, and they have an action, they're calling for action in Washington, D.C., They want on November 5th a massive protest there. And they're literally talking about surrounding the White House, the Congress, and the Supreme Court. And they said they will not leave. Their demand is that the entire Trump administration must be removed from the government immediately. Now, that's a real insurrection. So that could happen on the 5th. Don't know. That's also, I'm pretty sure that's a full moon. Anyway.
A bit, yep.
Anyway,
Yeah.
So we got a lot to cover here. Let's get right into it. I don't want to take up your valuable time.
This week, astrologically, let's start with that. Oh, and next week, following week. Well, yes, the full moon enters at 9:18 a.m. Eastern time on Wednesday, November 5th, right? Remember, right? On the eve, on November 4th, we have Mars action. Mars is the planet of war.
Right.
And it's also, it's about motivation and physicality. It's about movement, overall. Mars is going to leave Scorpio, as it's been toggling through Scorpio where the black moon is. So we've seen Mars in Scorpio, and that's why everything is kind of, well, I don't know, evil-ish.
Evil-ish. Yeah. Yeah, definitely evil-ish.
So Mars is going to enter Sagittarius at 8:01 a.m. So I'm on Tuesday. And then at 11:25, Mars is going to make an opposition. It's going to be astrologically at the exact 180 degrees away opposite Uranus, which is retrograde. Okay, so Uranus, everything happens when a planet is right there with Uranus or when it's in an opposition. The main things, there are a couple of aspects also with that, but this is really true with any planet and Uranus because Uranus is so powerful. And it is it's about changes overall, but it usually is about shocks and things coming from out of the blue. I always talk about this. Accidents can happen, but the higher octave of Uranus is, number one, we are saved by our rejections. Like when you're rejected by something, you'll probably find out later on that it was a really good thing that happened, even if you're in an accident or something.
I have been a proponent and a learner of that concept that everything happens for a reason. Technical issues, like you said, accidents, plans delayed, things that didn't go through. We continually, sometimes we never see, but many, many times we look back, and it could be like days, weeks, or sometimes even years, and be like, oh my God, if that what
Yes.
I thought was the most horrible thing would not have happened, this progression of events or wonderful outcome wouldn't even be possible. So yeah, and that's a tough one to learn, especially when you're going through it. I mean, if something like the world's going falling apart and everything's going sideways, it's hard to say right then and there, like, "Hey, this is a great thing." But
Yeah.
it kind of helps if we can keep that in mind. So yeah, not
And
to.
it's been proven over and over again. Oracle report readers have seen this over the years. Like, you just got to trust it, align with it. It's about aligning with God. And if you're really far off the path, Uranus will just batters up and just put you right where you need to be. A lot of people change jobs. Well, gosh, a lot of people are changing jobs because they're getting laid off.
Hmm.
So we're on the eve of the full moon, and we've seen, haven't we, about how a lot of times global events happen on the eve of the full moon. So along with that, on Friday, Uranus, as we're talking about, it's going to re-enter Taurus. Okay, so it's been in Gemini for a little while. It's the first time in this round it's been in Gemini. And this is why this is the pace of everything that has happened. All of the events happening so fast, multiple of them, every day, because Gemini is fast.
Hmm.
Uranus really likes to work fast, and so it's like, like a beating a drum. But now it's retrograde, and it's going to re-enter Taurus. So things in some way should slow down a little bit, because
Okay.
Taurus is that energetic is very slow.
Hmm.
And it's also Uranus then will be, when it goes into Taurus, it's going to oppose the black moon in Scorpio. So that that can bring up a lot of issues with security and having enough and money, because those things are ruled by Taurus. But now it's going to be flavored by the black moon in Scorpio. The black moon is today it's at 24 Scorpio 51 minutes. So it's getting on towards the end of its sojourn in Scorpio, and that will be really great when it goes into Sagittarius, because Sagittarius, right where Mars is entering this week, is lofty, and it aligns with spirituality. It's about clarity and learning things. All this month is the theme is about wisdom through clarity, and
Hmm.
and getting kind of smarter
Hmm.
and getting a lot of information. So and there's a lot of things that go along with Sagittarius, because um, the planet Chiron became the constellation Sagittarius, and so it's Christ-like, and I would say that will be really nice, energetic for the holidays.
Hmm.
Okay, but going back to it of this week, it's like, okay, anytime Uranus or any outer planet changes signs, it's retrograding from um, Gemini into Taurus. That's a big deal, right? So that's only 2 days
Hmm.
after the full moon. On Thursday, Venus is going to enter Scorpio, and then we're going to have Venus and the black moon in Scorpio, and so that's feminine energy, both sides of that, like the both sides of, well, the divine feminine in all faces, really. You don't really know what's going to come with that.
Hmm.
That's a lot of energy. That's a lot of feminine energy there,
Yeah,
and that's a
it
lot
is.
of division going on with that. Yeah.
Hmm.
So on November 28th, just that you might want to write it down, is Venus will conjunct the black moon on November 28th. So
Okay.
that'll be, generally, when they make a conjunction, those two planets, it's a great day. It brings blessings.
Right.
and then Venus will leave Scorpio on November 30th. So we have that happening there. Um, we have also on Friday, but I want to go back to the full moon in a minute. But also on Friday, okay, so Friday we have Uranus re-entering Taurus. Venus is going to square Pluto, and Venus has just entered Scorpio. Okay, so that is fixed energy to put things in place.
Mm-hmm.
Pluto will be discharging the Sabian symbol of an unexpected thunderstorm. Unexpected thunderstorm is Uranus, and that's the day it's moving into Taurus. Okay,
Wow.
yeah. So Venus will be at a sightseeing bus, so it might be like we're watching it. It could be shock and awe. Like
Mm-hmm.
when you're sightseeing, you're not getting out. You're kind of traveling through.
Yeah. You know, what you're talking about here, the thing that keeps coming to mind is the situation with potentially Venezuela.
Yes, because if I was the New World Order's astrologer, which I would never be, or if I was talking to somebody who was going to launch something,
Mm-hmm.
it would be a perfect time.
Okay. That sounds really interesting. Please continue.
Yeah, it would be a perfect time to launch anything for the United States, right? Because, gosh, I have to get my notes out and get my computer out here. Um, the sun is going on November 4th, the eve of the full moon. And then again, on the day after that, on the full moon, this is still in effect. The sun is going to trine the native sun in the chart of the United States. And that generally bodes well. The other thing is that Jupiter is conjunct the vertex and the part of fortune. The vertex is an open door, an open opportunity, and the part of fortune means it will work out well. So if I was the New World Order, I wouldn't tell them this because they don't listen. Right? They're not listening to us at all. They don't
Right.
listen to me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, keep saying that.
Yeah. So the at the eve of the full moon, Venus, right? We're talking about Venus this week, is going to trine the moon of the United States. Okay, that's I would say if they launch it, but they should probably do it then.
Mm-hmm.
And they will be successful with whatever they do with it.
Yeah, that's interesting. Apparently, they are telegraphing that they will do some airstrikes, and they're saying they're going to hit military bases. And that's an interesting thing because Venezuela, just last week, Russia finalized in their Duma. They actually finalized the agreement between Venezuela and Russia, which is a military aid and military cooperation thing, plus all types of other economic things. And they have been delivering this very week and a week before huge military transport planes. And Maduro was out there saying we have 5,000 Russian missiles, here to take down aircraft and other things like that. So I don't know, how this will go. You say that it looks like it would be good for the U.S.
I don't know if it would be good for the U. Well, who in the U.S.? Maybe the New World Order. I don't know.
Well, you know what it is. Venezuela has the largest oil reserve in the world,
Yes, it
and
does.
it was so convenient. What a setup! Where President Trump, all he talked about was Nobel Peace Prize. I want the Nobel Peace Prize. He talked about it, right? And I'm like, okay, I wouldn't be doing that myself. But anyway, then this woman gets it no one's ever heard of. Like, who? They awarded it to who? Turns out she's a Venezuelan activist who wanted to run for governmental reform and basically overthrow Maduro. And she's like living in exile somewhere. And all of a sudden, she is the talk of the town. And of course, she immediately gives her Nobel Peace Prize to President Trump, and he lauds her as a wonderful, brave person. And she would be the person that they would want to put in power if they did a decapitation strike and took out the Maduro government. So this is a setup. They've been working on it. I truly believe the entire theatrics and why he was talking so much about the Nobel Peace Prize, because that was the plan. You know, that this woman would come to the forefront and people would know who she is.
Yes, and then we have Tulsi Gabbard saying that no more regime change. So it's like, what?
Oh, I
What's
know.
happening
I
here?
know. You know, the peace president, you know, attacking another nation, no more regime change. I don't know. I don't know how this is going to go, but it's interesting. You know,
Well,
so go ahead.
well, I was just going to say the reason for this, why he's saying that they want to launch this, Trump saying this, is inaccurate, right? And it's not about drugs because they aren't the primary cartel of drugs in Central and South America.
Right.
Mexico is. It's the
Right.
cartels in Mexico.
Yes.
I know about this because when I was in DC, when I was on the human trafficking task force, right, the FBI was on the task force and trained everyone on the task force, which was what you would expect with FBI training,
Mm-hmm.
given what we see from them now. But the best trainer was well, he was a retired LAPD um, gang detective. He was a captain, and it was during like the whole Tupac Biggie time with all of that, and basically trafficking came alongside the drugs because and then overtook the profit of drugs. Can make a lot more money with human trafficking than you can with drugs.
Mm.
Now, I'm not saying they don't, send drugs from Venezuela. They do. We've seen that, but a lot of those drugs are going somewhere else. You
Yeah.
know,
They say a lot of
MS-13.
it's cocaine, a lot of it goes to Europe. I'm sure Mr.
Yeah.
Zelensky in Ukraine has some of the product.
Yes, yes, yes. Well, and they say that they talk about MS-13 where my jurisdiction where I was working was basically the East Coast hub of MS-13, which is from El Salvador. And it was always, they were all tattooed up with Mexican, symbology, no matter what. It was always Mexico running it. So what are we left with? What you said, oil. We have beachfront property, okay,
Oh yeah.
which could be prime for development. We see getting ready to happen with Gaza and the natural gas and all of that. And we know that they have rare earths in Venezuela.
Yeah, they have a lot. They have gold, they have silver, they have copper, they have oil, they have gas. I mean, they're a resource rich nation. They used to be very wealthy. Venezuela, man, was like, they were like 5 star before I guess the U.S. went in and put a bunch of sanctions on them and, economic pressures. And I don't know, not exactly sure what happened, didn't follow it that close, but what is about to happen? Hmm. I don't know. I hope it doesn't go badly. It's going to go badly for somebody, without a doubt. It's going to be someone's very bad day. So I don't know.
Right. It might not be Venezuela that I'm talking about with the full moon, but
True, true.
the full moon when it comes in on Wednesday, in the Mayan Solcan, that's the Mayan sacred calendar, it's 13 wind. So it's the highest level of winds you could have, kind of like with Melissa, the
Mm-hmm.
most winds,
Right.
gosh, with Jamaica, oh my gosh. Um, so that means even if it wasn't a full moon, that day would be highlighted as like wind is very much like the wind sign is very much like the sign of Uranus. It comes in really fast. Now the full moon is the Sabian symbol. It's 14 Taurus. On the beach, children play while shellfish grope at the edge of the water. It's about self-sufficiency overall. The sun will be at telephone linemen at work installing new connections.
Hmm.
So that's a grid opportunity we could see. That's a lot. It's a lot this week.
Yeah, there's a lot of energies lined up there. And with the potential now, the 5th, like I was saying, it's November 5th is whenever they're planning potentially a big protest in Washington, D.C. And of course, the
Hmm.
plan again is to surround the White House, surround Supreme Court, Congress, and not leave until the Trump administration is removed from power. An insurrection,
Hmm.
more or less. Um, and that's on November 5th.
Yes, 13 Wind is a perfect opportunity, again, a perfect timing for things with a protest that that is loud and makes a big impression.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and who knows if the government will still be shut down by then? I think it will be, but that's just my opinion.
Yeah, unless they're going to have to find some fun somewhere, aren't they? Yeah, so yeah, that's not a lot. It's not a lot of laughing with all of that. We have to remember, just like, okay, we're here, we're watching it, like we're
Mm-hmm.
witnessing it. Here it comes.
Oh yeah, yeah. To be aware of it, to be, eyes wide open. And know what's
Yes,
going
definitely.
on, so we can help navigate it and deal with it, and you know, doesn't catch us off guard. That's the whole purpose of the skill sets that you have is so we are aware and we're not caught off guard.
Yes, that is the hope, and to try to turn it into the positive outcome for anything we're working on. So we just focus on ourselves
Mm-hmm.
and yeah,
True.
do our thing.
Yeah. Sometimes I mean that's the way to do it. The only way to do it. Um, okay. So we have the potential of the Venezuela situation really picking up this week. Possible protest activity. Um, what else do you see? You see, are you picking anything up particular or about a particular world leader or situation other than what we're discussing right now?
I haven't looked. Do you want me to look at someone's chart if I have it?
Oh, that's at your what you would like to do.
Well, I have Trump and Putin's chart up. We can just take a
Mm-hmm.
quick look.
Sounds good.
1 second, please.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Very very good. Okay.
Jupiter. Jupiter, yes, it's conjunct his Saturn Venus conjunction in Cancer, which means you're going to take control of something and it could be very profitable. And Jupiter expands everything, or Jupiter can take you out.
Mm. That's not good.
Yeah, Jupiter is going to retrograde on this position right here in his chart, and that's going to happen next week. One of the things I wanted to talk about next week, we have Mercury stationing retrograde next Sunday, and on Tuesday, Jupiter is going to station retrograde right there on his. Yeah,
That's his birthday, I believe, isn't it? No.
it's no, it's in Cancer.
Oh, that's right.
He's a
That's right.
Gemini,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
but Uranus, so excuse me, Jupiter, when it stations retrograde on Tuesday, which is Veterans Day, um, it's going to be it's going to be retrograde until April 3rd, 2026. Okay, so that means that is in effect on him the whole time.
Hmm.
Whatever, so
Okay, so
basically,
that doesn't sound like a good portent because Jupiter is blessing, expansion, good things, and if it's retrograde and affecting you at a very precise angle, that doesn't sound very positive.
what I would say is we need to look at what happens tomorrow on Monday, because Mercury will conjunct his black moon tomorrow. Then Mars is going to come up to it, and like within a week, we'll see what happens, right? And especially that day, November 11th, when it does retrograde that day, the whole retrograde is about sharing ideas for everybody. That's one of the main things. But for him, it's in his the 11th house of hopes, wishes, and dreams. He could get something very, very wonderful between now and April 3rd. But the other side of that is it brings that in as well. When Mercury stations retrograde next Sunday, it'll be retrograde until November 29th. This is going to be really good for, well, the Sabian symbol is 7 degrees of Sagittarius, Cupid knocking at the door of the human heart. So that's romantic, wonderful things, and it's a retrograde, so people will be going back and trying to fix things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's what I would say with that. Let's let's stop with that one. We can just do a little bit of what's happening with Putin.
Sure. Okay.
Okay, so when Uranus goes retrograde and it goes back into Taurus, that's going to be good for Putin himself, because it's gonna his moon is right there at the beginning of Gemini, so it's gonna like take a little bit of pressure off of him.
Mm-hmm.
I should have looked at Russia.
I saw earlier today that there are reports coming out of Russia. They're saying that they have been they received information that Donald Trump is going to allow the use of Tomahawk missiles deep into Russia. That's not good.
Yeah.
The problem with that is, everyone, they can be equipped with nuclear warhead, and when a Tomahawk missile is fired, you have no idea knowing what's in it. Conventional warhead? Is it a nuclear first strike? Is it a trick? I mean, and that's the problem the Russians have with this.
Yeah. The other thing, the bigger picture here is, we've been talking about April, about how there will be troops in every state here in the U.S. We know that we've got the whole comet, 3i Atlas, not a comet. I don't know what it is.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a comet. And things are building up as I'm looking at it from a really far back position and just looking ahead for the next astrological year. The new astrological year begins on April 17th, 2026. And the Sabian symbol of the whole year next year is a large, disappointed audience.
Well, that doesn't sound good.
Yeah, it's really not. The energetics look like a holy war or a spiritual war.
Wow.
And so it's like, well, what can we tie with that, with April? Well, we know that's going to be the new year and things start. And this is what the occultists follow. They don't look at January 1st. That's really, they follow the Chinese New Year, Jewish New Year, but they also follow the astrological New Year. And a lot of people don't know that the astrological New Year it never begins on January 1st.
Mm-hmm.
It's never even in January.
Right.
So this is what they follow. And the reason for that is because they imprint something every time, and then they track it, and they know what they've imprinted at certain times, and they know what's favorable. And for hundreds of years, right? Mm-hmm. They've been studying astrology, the Vatican has. So they know exactly what they can do, because with the narrative that they push out all the time, they can drive things the way they want it to go. I don't know. Digital baking, could be involved with this. We know that this year, this astrological year, it's about setting things in place, whatever you want it to be. It's a reset year,
right?
Astrologically.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And the rest of the year is the Sabian symbols from now till April are, next month could be a little bit tricky, but the rest of the months look okay. But when we get to that April point, April 17th, I've never seen a lot of higher octave coming about with that symbol.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, it's one of the worst.
Wow.
Sorry, guys,
Yeah.
not my fault.
Yeah. Well, you're famous for telling it the way it is, Laura. So,
Well, it's really, maybe it'll help to notice what's happening now and noticing what it's building to, right? We're in the full cycle of the year, the Libra cycle, which we're in right now. Okay, that's the middle of it. And now they're going to connect whatever's happening now in the full cycle to the new cycle in April, right? It's back and forth. It
mm-hmm.
goes new, full, and they follow it just like with eclipses.
Right.
They put this all in place over those two Virgo cycles that we had with the total lunar eclipse and then the solar eclipse. It was magical for them during the reset year. So anyway, we can watch that and see which way it's leaning, really. And I guess that I hope that is, I don't know, maybe it can take everyone kind of out of it to just witness again what's happening, and seeing, and it may not be the way I'm talking about, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which would be great.
Maybe so. Maybe so. I do know that we are in for some major changes. The economic side, without a doubt, digital. I think we're going to see a push in Europe too to go to CBDCs and cashless. That's what I think.
Yeah, certainly it's happening there. It'll take a little bit longer, but April is kind of a long time now, and it wouldn't necessarily mean it would happen in April. It could happen the whole astrological year, right, up until the next one. So
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't need to happen. We will watch what they put in place, so we'll be able to tell what's going on
Right.
in April.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Amazing. Amazing. See what else? What else we have going on?
I don't know. I don't know. The JD Vance thing is so weird to me. What do you think about? I mean, not. Have you seen, what he's done the last few days?
Not really. I usually don't follow his politics that much. What's been going on?
Mm-hmm. Well, he's an amazing speaker, no doubt about it. So he was with Erica Kirk, and she was hugging him, and she had her hands all in his hair, and it was
Oh,
like,
wow.
whoa.
Okay, I think,
Right?
yeah, I saw pictures of that, people talking about it. She was wearing like skin tight leather pants and,
Oh,
you
I didn't
know,
know that.
like rocking out and everything. People were like, what? She didn't look too sad that her husband's dead. It was weird. Yeah.
Oh, it's been weird the whole time. It got weird to me when she was Air Force One or whatever he flies in, coming down the stairs of that. I'm like with JD Vance and Usha, his wife, and there's been the last few days. There's been a lot of talk in the narrative about they have some divisions because she's Hindu and he's Catholic, and he hopes that she becomes a Christian whatsoever alongside of this. Okay. And then his Instagram post, well, I think it was Instagram, his post for Halloween. Oh my goodness. The camera comes to his house. He opens the door, and he has a suit on, and he has on a wig, which was like a really bad heavy metal wig. It's like
Okay.
shoulder length and
Okay.
eyeliner.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And he's like, say thank you. I'm like, okay. What's going on with you, dude?
That's weird.
He didn't even change into, I mean, it's like with your shirt, with your suit on. Okay.
Oh man. That's crazy. I don't know. The whole political thing, I mean, the theatrics that we see worldwide is pretty amazing. But
Well,
here,
Trump got offended with Canada making fun of him, and like, boom, here's a tariff for you.
oh yeah. Oh, speaking of Canada, you saw where Trudeau, I think Trudeau's dating what's that woman?
Katy Perry.
Katy Perry. Yep. That was
The
weird
robot
too. I'm like, what?
Katy Perry.
That's
She taps her eye there because her eye glitches there.
right.
I've been covering Katy Perry for 10 years, I think.
Yeah, yeah,
It's not that hard to do, but whatever with those
yeah,
people.
yeah. It's pretty weird. Yeah, a lot of weird things going on. I don't know. The government shut down. What's going to happen with this? A lot of drama going on right now for sure. And this week, again, going back to this week, it's going to be interesting. So, give us the bullet points again to what we should watch for this very week.
Right. So on Tuesday, Veterans Day, no, not Veterans Day. It's a general election day. Um, this is when Mars is going to go into Sagittarius. And so people's tempers could be fiery. Mars is fire energy. Um, and it's opposing Uranus. So that's make sure you blow out your candles, turn off appliances, you know, anything that could cause a fire. You know, pay attention when you're driving. Don't zone off, particularly. Um, and then on the full moon on Wednesday, there's a potential for communications, to have problems with communications. And what else would I say with that? Um, Self-sufficiency is really the key word for the next 2 weeks of the
Mm-hmm.
last of this cycle.
Right.
And so that's going to bring in all of the SNAP and EBT stuff with that. So
Mm-hmm.
it's really, the energetics will kind of force that more than it already has. And it was fine this weekend. There was no looting around here.
No, no, it seemed pretty quiet. Like I did see, they were talking about potentially tomorrow on the third doing something.
Yeah,
So
I've seen a lot of that online. People having time when they're going to go to Walmart.
yeah, flash mobs
Yeah,
when they're going to go in
yeah,
and flash rob and all that.
yeah. Flash Rob.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's wrong with people? I mean, come on, man.
Oh, I
That
know it.
that's
Um,
nuts. I mean, we've seen that more and more over the past few years where they do the flash mobs, where they, literally you'll have like 150 teenagers all rush into a store at a preset time and just wipe the place out and run out the door. I mean,
oh, I know.
crazy.
I feel so bad for those people in there,
Oh, I
and
know.
like, oh, can't imagine that.
Hmm.
Um,
And those were during good times. You can only
yeah, I
imagine the
know.
activity if things got really bad. So
Well,
anyway,
it goes down really fast, right? When the looting starts, that if that happens, it's going to be hard to put down.
oh yes, yes. Now here's an interesting thing, and I brought this up to people. You're talking about all the troops. President Trump, he was saying he wants a rapid reaction force of the National Guard in every state, and they've started training with that for the President of the United States to legally declare a national emergency and martial law. There has to be a minimum of five major cities having a violent unrest at the exact same time.
Which
So,
we have.
which we have, and it could increase because if we do start seeing these flash mobs and are robbing and it gets out of control, he would have the legal authority to literally declare martial law, and that takes us all back into the Q stuff. The only way is the military, and they were doing some weird stuff in D.C. I don't know if you saw that they actually activated the military JAG there, and you had military judges uh, uh, handling cases in D.C. They said the reason for it was because the regular courts were overworked because they were like dealing with all the illegal immigrants, and they activated the military. Didn't get a lot of press, but that was a pretty big deal. And so they did it in D.C. They could do it in other places, and I do know that in the event that martial law is declared, I'm pretty sure from the way I read it, Congress and Senate are out of session, and all decisions are made by one person, and that would be President Trump. So,
And there are some members of the cabinet who are living on military bases.
Yes, I'm glad you brought that up. That is highly unusual. And they're saying it's because of threats of violence. It was after the Charlie Kirk thing. But when you see high-level cabinet members actually leave where they live and move with their families onto military bases, something's up. We could see things go really kind of weird and sideways. I don't know.
Yeah. And I think also we have to remember when they put something out front, they're doing something on the other side.
Oh, yeah.
The distraction of that. So, this might not be about Snap or anything. We might be watching a roll into something much bigger.
Yeah, very true. Wow. A lot going on. Pretty amazing, Laura. Pretty amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. They say it's a great time to be alive. And if you're alive and healthy enough, enjoy it.
Yes, I agree 100%. Enjoy it, and life is an adventure. Live it to the best of your ability. Staying healthy and all of that good stuff. We know how important that is, right?
We do.
You do. We all
I
do.
do.
We all do. Anyway. Is there anything else to add, or is that going to pretty much cover it for this Overwatch?
Yeah, I think so. Just if things happen and it's a surprise to you, like in your life, just remember with Uranus doing all this and the planets with Uranus, it will be a better thing no matter what. So just try to hold on to that. If your chart's activated and something goes along, and just be aware that shocks and changes are really in the air this week, especially, and a little bit next week.
Okay, very good. Very good advice, everyone. Keep that in mind. Laura, I want to thank you for coming on Midnight Overwatch again, and really helpful and good information. Really
Thanks,
appreciate it.
Phoenix. Yeah, got a lot going on this week, so
boy, we sure do.
I hope you're prepared.
We sure do. Oh boy. All right, I guess that is it for this Midnight Overwatch, everyone. And again, thank you so much, Laura, for your knowledge and what you share with us. It's greatly appreciated. Really is.
Oh, thanks, Phoenix.
You are welcome. Thank you. All right, everybody, we are rolling out of here. And until the next Midnight Overwatch, which classified information, we can't tell you when that'll be. Everyone be well, be strong, be positive in all these things. Heads up and be alert of what's going on, situational awareness. Until the next one, God bless, and Phoenix and Laura out.